and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Mackenzie Allen Charmley. Following recent complaints about the Arizona Department of Health Services vaccine registration website, some important changes are being made to make the site more accessible. Some of the most noteworthy changes include users only seeing available spots when signing up for an appointment, and users no longer having to repeatedly fill out forms while searching for an appointment on the site. Arizona Department of Health Services officials hope these changes make the process of signing up much easier. Meanwhile, the governor directed the state health department to take back doses from providers that aren't administering them fast enough, hoping to get those vaccines to State Farm Stadium and other sites. But as reporter Faith Abercrombie reports, there are other issues causing delays.
That's right, we do have a number you can call that may help you find that appointment. Be ready to write that down after we take a look at the factors that are making it difficult to schedule that vaccination.
Just keep trying. We always know that there's going to be increased demand right away.
About 500,000 COVID-19 vaccinations have been distributed across Arizona, but some vaccine recipients are having trouble scheduling their second dose.
I left voicemails on a few of them because I figured, well, I might as well leave a voicemail, see if someone eventually calls me back. That was a few days ago, and I haven't gotten anything in response. So then I've just been waiting on hold. I waited on hold this morning for about 90 minutes and no one answered.
Miriam received the Pfizer vaccine at State Farm Stadium on January 17th. He has even taken his questions and concerns to Twitter. Many other Arizonans across the state seem to have the same problem.
I was like, all right, well, I'll try to go find the second dose elsewhere. But then those sites that I either called or tried to sign up online said you had to have received your first dose there.
When Miriam went to schedule his second vaccine appointment at the location he received his first vaccination at, it showed it was fully booked with no available appointments. With so many people getting vaccinated at once, the need for syringes and needles rise, causing a holdup.
So the Pfizer vaccine comes with multiple doses in one bottle. You dilute it out and you've got X number of doses. Their finding is that you can stretch that out to give more doses. So you can add doses by thinning it out a little bit with the amount of fluid you give or the amount of fluid you actually inject. Well, you need more needles and syringes to do that.
A needle shortage, not only in the state, but across the country, can affect the timeliness of how quick Miriam and many others will receive their second dose.
I think my concern is less about my experience and more about, if I'm someone who's motivated, what about the people who aren't?
Alexander Merriam was able to schedule his second vaccine appointment for February 26th, 40 days after his initial appointment. Merriam found success by consistently calling the number 480-573-0332, a number provided by the Arizona Department of Health Services. The CDC has also recommended, quote, you should get your second shot as close to the recommended 3-week or 1-month interval as possible. However, there is no maximum interval between the first and second doses for either vaccine. In the broadcast center, Faith Abercrombie, Cronkite News.
Right now, 2 Arizona legislators are refusing to turn over their phone records after traveling to the U.S. Capitol the day rioters stormed the building. Republicans Mark Fincham and Anthony Kern are arguing that their trip to Washington the day of the Capitol riots was a private matter. They say they aren't under obligation to disclose their phone records from that day. However, this contradicts Arizona's public record laws that state public officials cannot hide public business by using their own cell phones for texts, emails, and social messages. The pair are both supporters of Donald Trump and were in favor of withholding Arizona's 11 electoral college votes from going to President Joe Biden. There is no evidence that Fincham or Kern, who is no longer a state lawmaker, took part in any of the Capitol rioting. Yesterday, the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors voted unanimously to conduct an independent audit of the equipment used in the 2020 elections. Although no evidence of fraud was found in previous audits, supervisors believe the move will help put unfounded rumors about the election security to rest. Election integrity conspiracies spread like wildfire as votes were being counted in November, with armed protesters even showing up to a major vote counting center on election night. Several local and federal officials have called the state's election results into question publicly over the last 3 months. Users of an online Reddit community have sent the investing world into a tailspin. The group began purchasing undervalued stock in GameStop earlier this week, causing the shares in the company to skyrocket more than 400%. The rise in the company's stock has left professional investors and hedge fund managers out of millions of dollars. Meanwhile, the Redditors are moving on to other undervalued companies, setting their sights on AMC, BlackBerry, and Macy's, which have all reportedly seen similar massive jumps in stock prices. Now, investing apps like Robinhood have hit the brakes on trading for these smaller targeted companies, limiting how much stock can be sold. And a class action lawsuit has been filed on behalf of the app's users, saying that by restricting trade during this unprecedented rise in prices, they are restricting the open market. After missing 2 practices, Phoenix Suns head coach Monty Williams returned to the helm last night. Williams stepped away for a few days to handle personal matters, but even with their head coach back on the bench, the Suns couldn't get the job done. They lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder and now sit at 8-8 on the season. After the game, a fired-up Williams was disappointed in the team's performance.
At some point, you just have to finish out games and understand what it takes to be a really good team is consistency, period. Until this team understands consistency for 4 quarters, we're going to feel like this a lot. We can try to get everybody to feel sorry for us. It ain't going to work. We got to be consistent. This is on us.
Coming up on Cronkite News, as Arizona continues to grow, how safe are you from hate crimes? We take a look back at the troubling trends revealed in a recent FBI report. And on Break It Down, what biases are attached to people's hair?
It's prime time on your time. Watch Prime Afternoons every weekday on Arizona PBS. Did you miss a show in the evening? Then catch up on Prime Afternoons, your favorite dramas.
No more bloody heroics.
Antiques Roadshow.
Really?
Nature and Nova.
It's time to reintroduce some wonder into this miracle of nature.
All of the best from PBS on Prime Afternoons. Weekdays starting at 1:30, only on Arizona PBS. Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Grantchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama. Every Sunday afternoon at 1. Only on Arizona PBS.
Just as soon as I see Jesus.
The Black church has been the root of the most celebrated aspects of Black culture.
Gospel music is about the majesty of Jesus.
It sets the tone for how you will feel when the word comes forth.
It's such a distinct flavor of music.
It's something about those songs that brings joy.
The Black church.
Coming in February to Arizona PBS.
A new FBI report on hate crimes is out, and it was a mixed bag for Arizona. After a sharp drop from 2017 to 2018, the number of Arizona hate crimes bounced back in 2019 to 217 crimes. While that was still well below the highs of recent years, there are other troubling signs, as Carolina Hassett reports from our Washington bureau.
The FBI report covers hate crimes that are motivated by race, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, and more. But the category that stood out for Arizona in 2019 by far was race.
And the 2 biggest victims of those crimes have been Black and Latino communities.
The vast majority of race-biased crimes were directed at Black people.
This is the 4th consecutive year that there's been an increase on hate crimes against Latinos. So that right there is pause for concern.
And most of the increase was driven by a surge in race-based hate crimes reported in Phoenix. The city accounted for 111 of the state's 143 race hate crimes, almost doubling the 59 race-motivated crimes the city reported a year earlier. And those are the only crimes the police know about.
Hate crimes traditionally are the most underreported crimes that we have.
Contacting law enforcement is not going to be something that everyone is comfortable with or willing to do.
Many experts point to the steady drumbeat of heated political rhetoric as one reason for the higher numbers.
The increase in rhetoric coming out of the White House, quite frankly, has led to this increase in hate crimes and hate incidents.
While better police training and improved community relations are needed, experts say that in the long term, education is key to combating hate.
There should also be some education that happens in the public schools about looking at systemic oppression and in particular racism.
Et Cubanez says the numbers in the report are more than just numbers. They affect people's lives.
The tension of being out and about now is heightened if, someone's scrutiny falls on you.
And Galindo Elvira says there is really only one number that matters.
One hate crime is one too many.
While the numbers in Arizona are up this year, it's important to remember the 173 hate crimes reported the year before were the second lowest in a decade. In Washington, Carolina Hassett, Cronkite News.
The other two biggest categories in the report were hate crimes driven by religion and sexual orientation. Crimes motivated by religious bias inched up last year from 34 to 36 cases, while hate crimes over someone's sexual orientation fell from 37 to 30 cases in 2019.
Martha McSally leaves Washington today for what will probably be the last time as a U.S. Senator. When the Senate returns from its Thanksgiving break in 10 days, Democrat Mark Kelly could be the new senator from Arizona, and McSally will be a private citizen once again. But before leaving the Senate, McSally took time this week for a farewell.
As I make the trip back home from D.C. to Arizona for the last time and close out this 9-year chapter of my life, I do so with gratitude, with joy, and with no regrets.
It was a sometimes emotional address from McSally, a Republican unseated by Kelly in this election. But the former Air Force fighter pilot said she was proud of her 2 years in the Senate and 2 terms before that as a House member representing the Tucson area.
This approach, despite the division, the obstruction, and the dysfunction here in Congress, drove me to tirelessly seek common ground, to find pragmatic solutions that make a real, tangible difference in people's lives.
It was during her time in the Senate that McSally put forward Arizona businesswoman Barbara Barrett as a candidate for Air Force Secretary. Now Secretary, Barrett calls McSally a friend and exemplary leader. She told us in a statement that while in Congress, McSally has, quote, built upon her legacy reflecting the U.S. Air Force core values of integrity, service, and excellence. I wish her all the best. I look forward to seeing her again in our home state. American University professor Jason Malika says McSally faced a tough situation when she took the Senate job, appointed to fill the term of legendary Senator John McCain just weeks after losing a 2018 race to Senator Kyrsten Sinema.
She was in a no-win situation when she had to replace Senator McCain. Let's be honest. You can't just pick up where Senator McCain left off and say, I'm going to pick it. You just can't.
He thinks McSally's losses in 2018 and this year had to do with President Donald Trump's unpopularity and the popularity of her challengers.
A lot more people were displeased with how the president went. So I think it had a little bit to play in why Senator McSally was not having much success. But I also think it had a lot to do with who she was running against in some cases.
She faced challenges in the Senate as well, revealing during a Senate hearing that she had been raped while in the Air Force.
And I told the whole world in a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing that as a fighter pilot, retired colonel, and a U.S. Senator, I too am a survivor of sexual assault.
But her farewell was mostly a time to dwell on the positive.
I wish my successor, Mark Kelly, all the best as he represents our incredible state in this hallowed chamber.
McSally said that she's not sure what's next, but is proud of this chapter of her life.
It's been a true honor, Arizona. We are an extraordinary state with extraordinary people.
While the next Congress will not be sworn in until January, Kelly and McSally were not technically running for a seat in the next Congress. They were running to fill McCain's seat for the next 2 years. That means Kelly can be sworn in as soon as election results are certified, which is expected to come in by November 30th. Phoenix Sun Center Deandre Ayton recently partnered with Banner Estrella Medical Center to transform their respite rooms. Cronkite News reporter Adam Noel talked with members of Banner Estrella team about the changes that have been made.
Signed on for the rest of the season with the Rockets is Ayton.
Although he's been known across the NBA for his skills above the rim, Deandre Ayton is dishing an assist to the Banner Estrella Medical Center.
Great catch from Ayton.
The Phoenix Suns Center partnered with Banner Estrella to transform the center's respite rooms.
So being able to provide them a safe space where they can remove their PPE really helped provide them an opportunity to decompress, to relax, recharge.
Among the added amenities to the new respite rooms are massage chairs, tablets with a preloaded Spotify playlist, and lots of Puma socks for the Banner Estrella team. One of the rooms was also outfitted with Suns gear, including a framed and signed Ayton jersey.
In partnership with DA is really kind of how this came to be. And the team was really overwhelmed with this particular support.
So I'm actually in the room that they added the jersey in. And it just kind of like when you come in here, it's just there's other people thinking about you.
Banner Estrella has been one of the leaders in the fight against COVID-19 here in Arizona. So far in 2020, the medical center has discharged over 1,100 COVID patients. For Kirsten Halliday, a speech-language pathologist at Banner Estrella, the ability to take a break amidst the prolonged fight is everything.
And it's just a good minute to like take your mask off and breathe. So it's just a really good way to get away from the hospital for a few quick minutes.
And this isn't the first time Ayton has partnered with Banner. During the NBA season hiatus, Ayton catered 300 meals and donated 1,000 pairs of slides to Banner Desert Medical Center. The Sun Center continues to give back to his local community.
Right at Jordan. He's attacking.
Adam Noel, Cronkite News.
The transformed respite rooms at Banner Estrella are open to all members of the medical center staff. That means they'll all be able to check out the big upgrades.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.